Hi, and welcome to another episode of the Cry But Don't Quit Show. I'm your host, India Miles, and today we have a new guest who's going to share her self-worth challenge and possibly what we could do about it. Feel free to introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jaie Williams, and one of my biggest challenges is accepting help from other people. I am the firstborn. I am a mother, a wife, a grandmother. I am a business owner, and I wear a lot of hats. I'm also an advocate, right? So I advocate for my family, for my friends, anybody. But when it comes to me and needing some support, even if it's offered, I'm challenged with that. I'm concerned that things aren't going to get done the way that I would do them. And so as a result, I'm overwhelmed. You know, I know that with business, personally and professionally, I'm going to have to accept some help if I want to grow, right? But I struggle with that because I just don't know that I can trust someone else stepping in and doing what I feel I can do better.
Yeah. Well, Jay, you're not alone with that. There's so many women, I mean, I'm seeing them nod their heads right now like, oh my goodness, she is speaking my struggle. And the advice that I would give you for that comes to top of mind is self-trust. It's not about people helping you as much as it is you helping you. If you cannot trust yourself to get things done, if you cannot trust yourself to find the time to clarify what you actually need help in and how you would like it to be executed because you're always going, then essentially not having help or not accepting help is self-protection. It's saying, well, let me not bring anybody into my chaos. Let me not really lift the hood and let them see the mess that, you know, of the way that I function. You know, 2 o'clock in the morning, responding to emails, or haven't really flushed out this idea, but you rolled it out already. Or you have no idea how you're going to get your money back off of this one, but you had to do it.
Yeah.
So a lot of that subconscious self-protection is coming from a lack of self-trust. And when you are exercising worthiness, you've got to be your first helper. You have to be your first person in line to say, hey, Jay, yes, Jay, how can I help you today? What do you need help with? And then once you really itemize everything that you're doing, alarms should go off. Red flags should be, thrown. Yeah, you are overworked. Yeah, you are taking on too much. Yeah, you are overperforming. And I will challenge you to say, you know why? You know why? Do you want to share with them why?
Wait. Okay, so India, you hit the nail on the head because I just feel, okay, so let me just give you just a little backstory. My father got sick in June of 2023. He was very healthy, never even ate mushrooms, y'all, didn't drink, didn't smoke, nothing. Found out he had a tumor on his spine as a result of a mass on his lung. We didn't even know he had. He never coughed. So June 2023, he got sick. By the time he passed away in November, he was paraplegic. The whole time I was on. I'm the oldest, remember, I have siblings. And I'm just going to be real transparent. My siblings weren't there, and I needed support because I'm also taking care of my mother who's healthy, but she needed that. I mean, her husband of 54 years is down, and what is she supposed to do, right? And as the eldest child, I'm going to be there. So October to when my dad passed, November 3rd, I was in ICU with my father every single day. I mean, from the time I woke up to the time they were having to make me leave at 10, 11 o'clock at night because I needed to be there for him. Because if you're ever in ICU, you literally have to stand outside the door to scream for help because nobody will come. They're like zombies. If I'm honest. And so my mother has sisters and some of them had offered to help. But I'm like, that's my dad. Like, I need to be here to help my father. My siblings weren't there. They found other things they'd rather do. And that's another thing, just to have the support. So I didn't trust that he was going to be cared for appropriately. I didn't trust that anybody else that I employed to come and take my spot just to have a bite to eat would be able to stand in the gap for me and make sure that he was covered. So there was just a lot of things around that experience that kind of pushed me into that. So I do understand the trust part because that's a fact, when in other things with business and things like that, I do struggle with that. Like I do. But when it comes to trusting someone who asks me if they can help me, because I've been let down also, I would rather not.
Mm-hmm. Now you're responding to trust as far as interpersonal trust. I am referring to self-trust in the regard of you setting a standard, setting a goal, setting an expectation that only you know about, and you trusting yourself to honor it. And same side of this, well, the other side of the same coin. And what I mean by that is, let's use the siblings, for example. Yes, they let you down, so it causes trust. And when other people come around, you already have that skepticism. But you also say you're the oldest. You put expectations on yourself. You expect, even if your siblings would have been there, you probably wouldn't even have allowed them to have been there. And that's probably why they found other things to do. Because, hey, Jay got it. And if I try to step in, Jay got it,
Yeah.
The trust of not just trusting others, but again, needing support starts with you supporting you. If you tell yourself, man, I could really use somebody to talk to. And then you go out here and you're the listener for 20 people that week. Because you feel it,
yes,
you empathize with it, but you didn't put a plan or tools together to actually resource yourself with it. And that's what's failing a lot of women with these worthiness issues, is that we know the answer. We know, we can feel it every day. We're telling ourselves we're gonna do it, but we're under-resourced actually with the practical tools with how. How do I do this when I'm every minute of the day, I'm showing up for other people, I'm on the job, on the business, on the ideas, I'm in meetings. When do I actually stop and put that plan together? That is what's crushing your self-trust. That's what's crushing you going from needing it to having it. Because there's really no information, there's no data in that gap to help you trust yourself along the journey of how do I go from point A to point B? When all you've ever done is point A. You step in, nobody, especially the oldest child.
Yeah.
Great scenario. I'm the baby. I had my older sister and my older brother to learn what not to do from. I had data. I had a reference.
Yeah.
I was the youngest grandchild. I was the youngest cousin.
Yeah.
I was the youngest friend for a really long time when I was building my business. All my mentors were in their 60s.
Yeah.
So I had data and information, and I asked the hard questions. Hey, why aren't you dating that person? Hey, how much are you spending to, run your website? Hey, how do you manage your downtime?
Yeah.
I had data, but when you are already the oldest child, you don't have any data, any experience, any reference on being cared for, being irresponsible, being free to frolic, then when it comes to you trying to implement change, you literally just don't know how to do it. So I'm going to tell you how. Just ask me. How do I do it?
How do I do it?
All right. I'm glad you asked, Jay. Glad you asked. So when it comes to establishing self-trust, it means you're making small promises to yourself. Small promises. In your case, I don't want to feel this way anymore. I don't want to feel abandoned or betrayed by my siblings. That could look like you confronting them. It could look like you not putting yourself in a situation to do more than what's asked of you. If they did not ask you to show up, you shouldn't have shown up. You created a narrative that you had to do it. Y'all heard her say it, right? She's the oldest. She had to show up for her dad. She had to be there. She had to, enlist and advocate for help for him. Who asked you to do that? You translated their absence for you having to step in. What would it look like if you didn't? So small promises.
Yeah.
Jay, you don't want to feel this way again around your siblings. You love your siblings. You want to feel loved by them. How can I feel loved by them? You create a new script, new set of expectations, because you're already doing that in your head. It's just toxic. You're already doing it in your head. You're already setting unmet expectations. You need to set some healthier ones, all based on what you want. And then the trust will build when you actually honor that. Oh man, I don't feel loved around my siblings right now. Am I going to go back and forth with them? Am I going to walk around angry at them for 2 weeks? Am I going to harbor that resentment? Or am I going to take responsibility that they didn't actually ask for me to show up and I could not for the life of me bring it to myself not to show up? That's on Jay. How's that land for you?
Ooh, like a bucket of cold ice water. Because I was raised to believe that if you treat people how you want to be treated. without understanding that reciprocity isn't required, right? And so I still struggle with that. And with the scenario of my father's situation, I expected them to step up too. But you're right, I shouldn't have, and I also feel like if I didn't, then it would have been so much worse. So I had to. That's
all of that's limiting beliefs. All of that is your belief system, and if you believe it, it will come to pass.
Yeah.
But if you believe a different narrative, that will come to pass too.
Yeah.
What would it look like if they did show up and you were able to give space for them to show up for their father the way they, that they wanted to? So that trust. Anytime you're trying to build trust, it takes time and it takes expectation. You have to know what those expectations are before you go into these interpersonal relationships with anyone, not just your siblings, not just your spouse, but also the women women and men that you work with in a professional sense. If not, what's going to continue to haunt you is you continue to do more and you not feel worthy of the help that people want to give you. You are doing amazing things online right now.
Thank you.
Amazing. But I know offline, what that must feel like to continuously be producing and promoting and sharing, and you don't have help.
Right.
So, little tidbit.
Yeah.
Pay for it. Pay for the help. There's nothing free. Set aside a budget. Do not accept free help, especially not in work.
Right.
Pay for it and tip them. Give them a little extra, okay?
Yeah.
People are a lot happier and a lot more trustworthy when it is transactional and it's not based on favors. And look out for the people that, without you asking, they show up and do more than what you ask them to do, because that's what you're going to source.
Yes.
Be careful of that. What I've had to do in this season is stop people. He's not paying attention right now, but I was going to cut my eye. Yeah. Stop people from throwing a little extra in that I didn't pay for. That's what you did with your father. That's what you do in business. That's what we were programmed to do as 80s, 90s babies. Just do a little extra, above and beyond, right? Pay for it, put it in writing, and be very clear. This is what I paid for, this is what I didn't. So they're not harboring any resentment, and they're not creating any unmet expectations. Okay?
Okay. That's awesome.
Sound good?
It sounds amazing.
All right. Well, share with the ladies what you're building and what you got.
Ooh, I am an author. My book is on Amazon. It's called You Got 9 Minutes. It's a funny caregiver's guide to raising your parents. I wrote it for my dad. During the time that I was dealing with his health situation and advocating for him, after he passed, I was angry because I lost my dad, you know what I mean? And all the things that I had experienced at the hospital and the caregivers and all the things. And the more I wrote about it, the angrier I got. And I know my dad would not have wanted that. So I also had an opportunity to spend one-on-one time with my parents that I never had as an adult every day. And the antics of old people. So I wrote about it, and it's for the caregivers, and it's an easy read. It's just something to make you laugh and kind of connect with, and also remind you of the blessing of being able to care for your family and what a blessing it is. So it's called You Got 9 Minutes, a funny caregiver's guide to raising your parents. And I got the title because after my dad passed, I have to talk to my mom every day, of course. I'm a daddy's girl, though, and talking to old people can be a lot. So I would call my mother on my way home from work. Right? And she would tell me about who died and who this and what the weather and what the traffic and, and it was starting to become extremely taxing on my mental health. Like, getting off work and sitting in traffic, you don't want to hear all that, right? So I would say, okay, Mom, you got 9 good minutes and I'm going to have to let you go. I'll call you later, so that's it just kind of stuck. And I'm also the host of the Jaie Williams Experience podcast, where I interview people and we bold trailblazers, and we have bold conversations about their individual journey in their career. I had the opportunity to be in a play in 2024. I met a lot of amazing people at that time, and I just decided to do it. It was something I always wanted to do, and so I did. And so it's great. It's on YouTube, so check me out. Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you
I
so
appreciate
much.
it. Let's take a picture, and then I'm going to address the audience.
Okay.
And we're going to get out.